because I do this in my AUKOM classes. They gave me this information that some time ago Zeiss conducted a kind of survey about, you know, why companies have like failures in inspection, especially, and they you know, did this Pareto analysis, and there were like two causes. One was the lack of training, and the other one was the lack of systematic approach. So in other words, many companies, they don't have any internal kind of guidelines of how to approach measuring process. There are some that do, you know, SpaceX is one of them, you know, but this is still something that the challenge is that we don't really have a national standard on how to measure things, you know, with CMMs or with just about anything. So people just improvise, and you may have customer and supplier that have different approaches, and you know, parts always have some deviation, so that causes errors. And you know, if you have some systematic approach, let's say I have a diameter of 2 inches, and I will always measure it with like 16 points equally spaced, you know, that's a systematic approach, instead of having 16 points one time, 8 points another time, and so on and so forth. So I know it goes against like the human nature, because we like variation, but you know, variation is the enemy number one of any kind of industrial processes. You want to remove those influences, and you know, and there are many of them, you know, starting with drawings, machine, person, environment, measuring strategy, and so on and so forth. So this AUKOM training kind of breeds awareness of all of these factors, you know. So some people get scared and they say, I don't want to have anything to do with it, but others, you know, they find it valuable because they can focus on what's important.